Okay, good evening, guys. How are you doing today? Good evening, online. Good evening. Hope everyone are doing good. Okay, so let's jump on. What did we discuss in our last class? Quick shootout. Ready? Okay, so what is the full form of EC2? Elastic Compute Cloud. Okay. What do we do in EC2 service? We launch EC2 instances. We launch EC2 instances. Okay. And EC2 is regional or global? Regional. Okay. If I launch one EC2 instance in Mumbai region, can I see the same EC2 instance in another region at the same time? Not possible. Okay. And what is load balancer? Load balancer which distribute the traffic to the multiple servers. But what is this load balancer called in AWS? Elastic load balancer. Shortcut ELB. Now tell me what is elastic load balancer? Which distribute the traffic to multiple EC2 instances across availability zones. This load balancer is completely managed by AWS. Load balancer is a service or a server? Is it possible to log into the load balancer? Access the load balancer? How? Using the DNS name. Using the DNS name. Okay. Then which service is used for easy and quick deployment of applications? Elastic Beanstalk. Can we say Elastic Beanstalk is like a platform as a service? In general, in platform service, do we have control on the servers? But in Elastic Beanstalk, do we have control on the servers? What is the backbone of Beanstalk? EC2. Do we have the control on the TC2? Yes. But is it recommended to control? No. Okay. So which is a service in AWS which is readily available? I just need to go and pick it up and use it. Which one? Light Sail. Which one? Light Sail. Okay. What is the disadvantage of Light Sail? Okay, that is also one limit. But what is the main limit? No auto scaling. Whether there is no auto scaling. Okay. Okay. If any customer comes to you and says, hey, Babu, take this application and put it in AWS, what are the two major services that you can look for? Okay, I'm repeating the question. Yeah. Yes. So if anyone comes to you and says that, please deploy the application in AWS, which services do you choose? What are the services that you have to deploy the applications? EC2 and Elastic Beanstalk. What are the two ways we have? EC2 and Beanstalk. Okay. Okay. In EC2, we do manually. Beanstalk is little bit automated. So which is a service used for automation purpose? Lambda. Lambda is server based or serverless? Serverless. Very good. So Lambda is regional or global? Beanstalk? EC2? Very good. Okay. And what do we create in Lambda? Functions. What functions are those? Lambda functions. What functions? Lambda functions. Okay. Where are all the events are stored? Which service is that? Event bridge. Which service? Event bridge. Okay. Okay. So based on the events that you are interested in, you can invoke or call the Lambda function to execute. Yes or no? Yes. Fantastic. Okay. So this is what we have discussed in our last class. Okay. So let's move on to today's topic. Very good, guys. Can you please confirm online? Can you see my screen and can you hear me well? Nice. Okay. So we have been, we have discussed few services yesterday. So let us continue few more services. Before I start today's class, do you remember in olden days meaning when you born, 90s, huh? 90s. No, no, no. Hey, come on. I'm also, no, I come on. Yeah. Okay. So little bit back. That's all. Huh? Not much difference. Okay. So I still remember in my college days, those were in 2000s in my college days. When I was doing the project, nowadays, where do you put all your files, projects? Where do you put? Where do you store all the files? Where? Pen drive, no? Where do we store? Pen drive. In our days, in college days, in our starting days, where do you keep? Almara. Almara, you store it, but how do you take it to? It is not to the okay. Even before that, where? Floppies. What is that? Floppies. Did you saw the floppies? Then we are in the same age only. Then come on. Okay. So on those days we used to have floppies, right? Do you remember the floppy? That small. How much is the floppy? Don't show in hands. Not this. How much? How much is that? 2 MB. How much is that? The floppy was how much? 2 MB. Nowadays, if you take selfie, that photo itself is 2 MB now. Do you remember? I still remember in college days, I used to collect a bunch of floppies for my project to show to my ma'am, right? So on those days, there were no, even before days, in my school days, basically, computer was very new. We don't had Windows. We had DOS. Anyone knows DOS? Disk operating system. It is only one command prompt which you open and we just type the commands. That's it. After that, maybe few years, maybe not more than 5, 6, 7 years. After that, we got the Windows with UI based. So, okay. So basically, floppy was 2 MB. Was that sufficient for us? No. After floppies, what do we got? CDs you have used. So many CDs, huh? No. How much size? See, correct. Huh? You might have used so many CDs. After CDs, DVDs. After CDs, what we got? DVDs. How much size DVDs? 4.7 GB. Do you remember those one DVD, 3 movies in one DVD? Huh? We used to take it for rent, no, for 10 rupees, and then we go and we watch movies, right? 3 movies in one DVD. Nice. Was that sufficient? No. So DVD is also not sufficient, which was 4.7 GB. After DVDs, what we got? Before that, we got pen drives. How much is a pen drive? 16 GB, 32 GB, 64 GB, or Nisham is staying 2 GB. So 128 GB. We have used maximum 128 GB. This 128 GB is also sufficient? No. After that, what we got? Hard disk we got. Hard disk. How much? 1 TB, 2 TB we got max. This 2 terabyte is also sufficient. If you go with your batch to some trip, the 2 terabyte photos is full. Yes or no? Was that sufficient? It's not sufficient. Later, what we got? No answer. See? Later, what we got? No answer here. Because that was the maximum that, we had before. So on the other side, AWS is watching. చూస్తున్నా అన్ని అబ్జర్వ్ చేస్తున్నా, right? Every AWS was watching this problem. So for our customers, initially we had 2 MB, 700 MB, 4.7 GB, 120 GB, 2 terabyte, and that to hard disk is secure. The external hard disk that you are having is secure. No, just in case pusuk, if the hard disk fell down, gone. If something virus went inside, all your data is corrupted. Is that safe? Is it secure? No. So, and that too, this 2 terabyte is also not sufficient. But what we need now is, we need more storage, super security, which is very safe. This is our requirement. Yes or no? For that reason, AWS has came up with a service called S3. What is that? How many threes? Yes. How many S's are there? 3 S's are there. And that is here I'm writing. S3. Wow. Simple storage service. Say that, Nana. One more time. Simple storage service. Okay, simple storage service. See here. This is a perfect certification question. So in certification, they will ask, what is the full form of S3? What is the full form of S3? Simple storage. Now you clearly say it is simple storage service, but in certification, the options will be like this. Simple storage service, service simple storage simple service. None of the above. Now we can easily say, but in certification, we'll get easily confused. And finally, you will say, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then inky, pinky, ponky, and then you'll put something there. So how do we remember? Should I tell you how to remember this? So that you will never put the wrong answer in certifications, right? So remember, whatever we are learning till now is simple or not? Whatever we are learning till now, from me, it is simple or not? Simple. Remember, in AWS, most of the services which start with simple, end with service. Most of the services will start with simple, end with service. What service is this? Storage service. Now tell me the full form. Simple storage service. Is it service storage? No. So everything will start with simple, end with service. And what service is this? Storage service. I'll give you one more example. There is a service to send notifications. Can you form the full form? Service name? Simple notification service. Shortcut? SNS. There is a service which is used to send emails. Now tell me. SES. What is SES? Simple email service. Simple notification service. Simple email service. Simple storage service. So now will you forget it this? Now what is the full form of S3 now? Simple storage service. Simple storage service. Now in AWS, this is simple. This is S3. We know this very well. In Google also came up with the storage. Which one is that? Google Drive. Which one? Google Drive. Similarly, we have G Drive. No. Similarly, like G Drive, from AWS, we have S3. What do we do with the G Drive? What do we do with the G Drive? Tell me. We upload all the files. Yes or no? We'll upload all the files. We'll download all the files. Anything else can we do in G Drive? No. Okay, let's say you have some files in G Drive. Is it possible to execute that file? No. You cannot execute. You cannot run. It is just a storage. It's just a storage where you put all the files. Is there any restrictions of extensions so that you can say you cannot save these kind of files in Google Drive? No. Anything you can. It is just a dump. It's a storage. Anything you can dump it there. Similarly, from AWS, we have a service called S3. We have a service called S3. And that too, remember, we had a problem with the storage space, no? This S3 is unlimited storage. S3 is what? Your G drive is unlimited. How much GB free? Maximum 50, not 50, even less. 15. Uh, so, but here S3 is completely unlimited storage. This is a certification question. So S3 is unlimited storage from S3. S3 is unlimited storage by AWS. And now what do we do with S3? We can upload, download the files. So it is just used to store the files. Agree? S3 is used to just store the files. I call it as any files. Is there any restriction saying that you cannot store these kind of files? No, anything you can save. In S3, you can save all kind of files. Instead of calling all kind or any kind, I call it as flat files. What is that? Flat file meaning any file. So I'll write it here. S3 can store all flat files, any files. What do we do with S3? We can upload, download, access the files, correct? With S3, we can upload, download, and access the files. Is it possible to execute any files in S3? No. You cannot execute files, any files in S3. Okay. Is it possible to install operating system in S3? Yes or no? No. Is it possible to run Java files, .NET files, Python files, anything? Nothing. Nothing. Is it possible to install OS in S3? Answer is no. Is it possible to install database in S3? No. Is it possible to run .NET, Python, Java files in S3? Answer is no. So do you remember now? S3 is just used to store the files. And Google Drive is server-based or serverless? For us, server. And S3 is also very good. S3 is serverless. As it is serverless, do we need to worry about the performance of S3? Do we need to worry about elasticity, scalability, etc. for S3? No. Who handles all these things? AWS. AWS handles high availability, performance, scalability, etc. for S3. And I'll write this for you here. In AWS, all services will start with simple and end with service. So what is the full form of SNS? Simple notification service. What is the full form of SCS? Simple email service. So if you want to send any notifications, which service will send you notifications? SNS. If you want to use emails to send, SCS. Like this. Like this, you have so many services which start with simple and with service. Okay. You're getting it? Is this clear till here? Okay. So now, let's say, for example, what is the name? Ankit. So we have our friend here, Ankit. He saw that I have so many movies in my laptop. And what he said, obviously, when you see any movies in your friend's laptop, what do you do? Ray, please, give me that movies also. So what he did also, he asked me movies and, in his laptop. And what kind of movies are those? I have Tollywood movies, Hollywood movies, Bollywood movies, all type of movies we have it. So now I have given all these movies to him. What he'll do in his laptop? He went to his laptop. His laptop is Windows or Linux? Windows, Windows. And what he do? He'll create folder or not? He'll create a separate folder called Tollywood, Bollywood, Hollywood, like this. He will create a separate folders. Inside the folders, what he'll put? He'll put the files. And can you give me one movie name? Huh? Huh? DJ. KGF. Huh? So KGF dot MP4, for example, I'm saying. कुछ कुछ होता है यार. Okay. होता है. Showing. Okay. So KGF dot MP4. Okay, now see here. This is in his laptop. He has created folder. Inside the folder, what he has? Files. And what is this name of the file? KGF dot. This is the name of the file. Similarly, in S3, it is in laptop, but here now it is in S3. In S3 also, we need to create folder, no? But that folder, we call it as bucket. What is that? Bucket. What we call here? Bucket. Not this bucket. Normal bucket. So what does the bucket contain? Files. Very good. But that files here, we call it as objects. What are the files? We call it as objects. And what is the name of the file? We call it as key. So in S3, what do we create? Bucket. Say that. In S3, what do we create? Bucket. What does the bucket contain? Objects. What is the name of the object? Key. That can be any name. So can I say now, bucket is a container of objects? Can we say bucket is a container of object? Normally, in normal bucket, what do you have? Water you have. Water. What is that? Water. R should be rolling. So in normal bucket, you have a water. Similarly, in this bucket, what you have? Objects. What is the name of the objects? Key. Okay. So here, if someone asks you what is a bucket, then you proudly say, bucket is a container of objects. What is an object? Object is a file. And what is the name of that object? Name of the file or object is key. So in S3, what do we have? Buckets. What does the bucket contains? So what type of storage is this? Object-based storage. What type of storage? Object-based storage. So this is a perfect certification question. Pakka. S3 is object-based storage. What based storage? Object. Pakka certification question, guys. S3 is what based storage? Object-based storage. And by the way, S3 is global. S3 is global. But remember, S3 is global, but buckets are regional. Can you create the buckets in Mumbai? Can you create the buckets in Ireland? Can you create the buckets in any region? Yes, but S3 service is global, but the buckets are regional. Okay, so is it clear till here? Now, do you know what is static website? Static website, static website. So static website meaning you know websites, no? You know websites. If you go to internet, everything is a website. So if you go to any website, the contents are static, constant. It doesn't change. Let's say, for example, Wikipedia. You know Wikipedia, no? Where you have a lot of data that will be changing every day, no? It will not change. It is constant data. It's static. That's called, we call it as static websites. Which one? Static website. So all your normal, any company website, you take it also, it is static websites only, which doesn't change. Let's say, for example, see here, I have my company and I have my company website is there. That is static website. You are AWS engineer. Now I came to you and said, hey, Babu, Papa, take this website and put it in AWS and give me the URL. Which service would you choose? Beanstalk or EC2? Yes or no? Beanstalk or EC2. In EC2, what do? You launch an EC2 instance, you go and deploy, you set up everything, you do it. But in Beanstalk, you give the application, Beanstalk will do it for you. Now, for simple static website, you no need to go to EC2 in Beanstalk. Our S3 supports static website hosting. You know how easy is that? Very simple. Create a bucket, upload all your static files, enable static website hosting. S3 will give the URL, give that URL to the customer. That's it. It's very easy, right? So here S3 supports static website hosting. Remember, in certification or in interviews, they'll ask, hey, I have a static website. Which service would you choose to host the static websites? Which one? Remember, S3 supports only static website. Does it support dynamic websites? Does it support DB operations and all? No, it is just a static websites. S3 support static websites. So what you need to do, simply create a bucket, put all your objects inside bucket and enable static website hosting. That's it. Do I need to worry about the performance of this website? Do I need to worry about anything, high availability of this website? Nothing. Everything is managed by S3 itself. So no need to worry about HA, right? Performance, scalability, etc. Because who handles it? S3 handles it. That means AWS handles it. Guys, is this clear till here, everyone? Online, is it clear, CC? Super. Okay, so now we are going to a very important topic. Very meaning, very, very important topic now. Okay. Online people, as I always says, this is very important topic. Please sit properly. Don't lie on your bed, right? And then putting hands under the cheek and listening to the phone, right? So I can assume in which situations you guys are. But what I'm saying is, please sit properly, close the door, lock it, and listen carefully. Okay? Hey, Babu, get up. You only. Okay, Papa's also. Huh? Okay, fine. Are you ready? Online. Are you with me? Okay. So the next topic, very important topic here, we call it as EBS. What is that? Elastic Block Storage. What is that? Say that. Elastic Block Storage. That is also a certification question. What is the full form of EBS? Elastic Block Storage. So, for your laptops, you have hard disk, no? In your laptops, you have a hard disk. Without hard disk, your laptop will work? No. So how many drives you have? In your laptop, how many drives you have? Some people have one drive, C drive only. Some people have C drive, D drive. Some people have C drive, E drive, right? You have drive also, you have drives. But, okay. Okay, yes, someone is saying this. I already said that for Beanstalk, don't call it as EBS. Because EBS full form is Elastic Block Storage. So EBS is completely different. Beanstalk is completely different. So we are talking about the storage now. Okay. So for your laptop, you have a hard disk. So what does the C drive contain? Operating system. Yes or no? What does the C drive contain? What does the D drive contain? Your data. Yes or no? Everyone. What does the C drive contain? Operating system. What does the D drive contain? Data. Not only D, E, F, G, anything. It all contains the data. Okay. See, that hard disk in EC2, in AWS, we call it as volume. What's that? What is that? So volume, we call it as volume. Hard disks are now called as what? Volume. What volume? EBS volume. What volume? EBS volume. What is EBS? Elastic block storage. Now, S3, in S3, it's just a storage, no? Is it possible to install, run any kind of files in S3? No. But this is what storage? Block storage. S3 is what storage? Object-based storage. S3 is what based storage? Object-based storage. EBS is block-based storage. What storage? Block-based storage. You understand? S3 is a object-based storage where you upload only objects. You cannot do anything there. But here, are there any restrictions? It is just like your hard disk for your laptop. Is there any restrictions for your hard disk? Anything you can install, anything you can run, anything you can execute, anything you can do. What based storage is this? Block based storage. What based storage? Block based storage. So EBS is block based storage. Certification question. Block based storage. Whereas S3 is what based storage? Object based storage. Okay. So what is hard disk called here now? Hard disk is now called what? Volume. What volume is this? EBS volume. Say that. What volume is this? EBS volume. Nana, Chiti, how many steps are there to launch an EC2 instance? How many? 7 steps. How many? Louder. How many? 7 steps. I'll be asking this question so many times. How many steps are there to launch an EC2 instance? 7 steps. In one of the step, in order to launch an EC2 instance, how many steps are there? 7 steps. No. In one of the step is, we need to talk about the hard disk. From now onwards, hard disks are called as volume. So one of the step is related to your volumes. So when you're launching the EC2 instance, you need to attach the volume, no? You need to have a hard disk, no? You need to have the volume, no? Without volume, is it possible to run your EC2 instance? No. So remember, whenever you're launching the EC2 instance, a default volume will come with it. A default volume. And that volume, we call it as root volume. What volume? Say that. What volume is that? Root volume. Whenever you're launching the EC2 instance, automatically one volume will come. What volume is that? Root. What does the root volume contains? Operating system. Because when you're launching the EC2 instance, C drive should come, no? When you're purchasing laptop, your laptop has an operating system which has a C drive. Yes, that is a default volume. That is a default hard disk. No, here also for EC2 instance, you have a default volume. What is the default volume called? Root volume. What does the root volume contain? Operating system. If I see any operating system in any of the volume, what volume is that? Root volume. Say that. What volume is that? So what is the default volume we get? Louder. What does the root volume contain? Operating system. Can I have another volume also attached? Like D drive? Is it only C drive? We can have D drive also. We can have E drive. We can have F drive. And rest of the volumes, we call it as additional volumes. What volumes? Basically, we have 2 types of volumes. What are those? Root volume, additional volume. So, but the default volume, we call it as root volume. You will get the additional volumes you will get by default. No. What is the default volume that you get? Root volume. What does the root volume contain? Operating system. What are the rest of the volumes called? Additional volume. What does the additional volume contains? Data. Super. And remember, anytime volumes can be attached, anytime volumes can be detached. This is AWS cloud, no? How much ever you want, you attach it. If you don't want, detach it. Additional volume can be detached. Yes. Root volume can be detached. Yes. Anytime you can, but there is a process, there is a way how to detach, how to attach. We'll talk. But remember, volumes can be attached, volumes can also be detached. You're getting it? Online, is this clear? So this is the EC2. Yes. So this is the EC2 instance. So this is what volume is this? Excellent. What volume is this? Root volume. Root volume is nothing but C drive, na? What does the root volume contain? Operating system. OS. What volume is this? Root volume. Can I have another volume also? What is volume is this? Additional volume. What drive? D drive. What does this contain? Data. And what volume is this? Additional volume. Getting Nana? So here, volumes can be attached, volumes can be detached. Agree? Volumes can be attached and detached. See here. So by default, you get this root volume. But if you want additional volume, no, see, all this is a centralized storage. What is a centralized storage? EBS. What is this? EBS. Oh, EBS is a centralized storage. It's a centralized storage. EBS is a centralized storage. Where if you want volume, go to EBS, create it, and then attach to EC2 instance. EBS is a centralized storage. It's like a treasury. It's a centralized storage. AWS has a centralized storage, which is called EBS. So if you want volumes, create it, how much ever size that you want, and then attach to the EC2 instance. Getting it? So that's why I said volumes can be attached, volume can be detached anytime. So here you create a volume here. Suppose you have created a volume here. So this volume can be attached here, and this volume can be detached. But in what scenarios we will attach, in what scenarios we will detach, we'll talk. So you can detach it, you can attach. And I'll ask one interview question. Can you attach multiple volume to the EC2 instance? What is your answer? Yes, you can attach multiple volumes to the EC2 instance. EC2 instance come with one default volume. What volume is that? Super. EC2 instance has default volume. That volume is called root volume. What does the root volume contains? Hmm? The root volume always has OS, operate. What type of operating systems? Windows and so maximum you will get these two, Windows and then Linux. And by the way, this is, do you know that we have two types of operating systems classified into two, not Windows or Linux? So we call it as client side operating systems and server side operating systems. What is that? Client side, server side. Now tell me, our AWS or EC2 will provide client side operating systems or server side operating systems? Server side, not client side. Client side meaning your laptop has what type of operating systems? Windows 10, Windows 11, correct? So does the EC2 will provide Windows 10, 11? No. So it provides server side like Windows Server 2021, 2022, right? Red Hat, so Ubuntu, right? If it is etc. like this. So please remember, EC2 doesn't support client side operating systems. That should be clear for you. This guy doesn't support this. So EC2 supports only server side operating systems. EC2 supports only server side OS, not client side OS. Today, if I have any operating system in, if I see any operating system in the volume, what volume is that called? What volume is that? Yes, if we have OS on the volume, that volume is called, root volume. Now I'm asking one interview question. How many root volumes can one EC2 instance can have? Only one, no? Excellent. EC2 instance can have only one root volume. EC2 instance can have multiple additional volumes. EC2 instance can have multiple additional volumes. Okay. So now question here is, sir, we are attaching, but okay. We have two types of operating systems, Windows and then Linux. I said, when you launch the EC2 instance, you will get a default volume. No. What volume is that? Root volume. No. But the question here is how much size? C drive. Generally, if you go and purchase your laptop, how much your C drive? You are worried about that or not? Yes, C drive, it is 500 GB or 1 terabyte. How much? But here, remember, when you're launching the EC2 instance, you will get a default volume. And the default volume size, if it is Windows, remember, if it is Windows, you will get 30 GB. How much? If it is Linux, you will get 8 or 10 GB. Say that, guys. What if I ask you this question? What is the Windows? What is the size of Windows EC2 instance C drive size by default? 30 GB. For Linux, 8 or 10 GB. So when you launch a Windows EC2 instance, how much size that you will get? C drive? 30 GB. But okay, we'll talk about that. That is for now 30 GB. Guys, just wait for some time. Automatically, all the questions will get answered. Okay. Now, so I told you volumes can be attached, volume can be detached. How much ever size that you want. Okay, let's say you want D drive. You want D drive. How much size that you want? It's up to you, right? Is it 50 GB, 100 GB, 200, 500, 1 tera, how much ever you want. But one maximum volume size is 16 terabyte. How much? What's the maximum volume size? Not GB, sir. Not 1 TB, 2 TB. How much one volume can be up to how much size? 16 terabyte. So your C drive can be up to 16 terabyte. D drive can be up to 16 terabyte. Your E drive 16, F drive 16. That is a maximum. Can you go and create based on your requirement? You can go in, but maximum size is 16 terabyte. It is heavy or not? It's too heavy, right? So here, maximum size of EBS volume is up to 16 TB. And the volume should be pre-provisioned, correct? Okay, the meaning of pre-provision here is volumes are pre-provision. Pre-provision meaning how much ever you want, you need to go and create and attach it. Yes or no? Pre-provision meaning what? You are provisioning it. Okay, let's say for example, you have an EC2 instance with C drive only, but you want D drive now. How much? Give me example. How much? 100 GB. So you need to go and create a volume of how much GB? 100 GB. That is called pre-provisioning. That is called pre-provisioning. So it is not come by default. So how much size that you want, you need to go and select it. That is called 100 GB, for example. But maximum, how much you can create? 16 terabyte you can create. So volumes are pre-provisioned. Agree? Volume should be pre-provisioned. Like 50 GB, 100 GB. Like this, maximum, how much you can have? 16 terabyte you can have. Super. Okay, I'll ask one interview question. One volume can be attached to multiple EC2 instances at the same time? One volume can be attached to multiple EC2 instances at the same time? What is your answer? Yes or no? Okay, I'll replace this question like this. You have your laptops, no? You have your hard disk, no? One hard disk can be attached to multiple laptops at the same time? Here, no. But there, yes, you are saying. One volume can be attached to multiple EC2 instances. Here, laptop meaning EC2 instance. Hard disk meaning volume. So one volume cannot be attached to multiple EC2 instances at the same time. So, and here is, you cannot attach a volume to multiple EC2 instances at the same time. Okay, I'll give one requirement. Chitty, you have launched one EC2 instance, Windows EC2 instance. How much size that you get? 30 GB. Very good. But this 30 GB is sufficient. Maybe after 1 month, this 30 GB will be full. And what you need now? More. You need to have more GB. So let's say, for example, there is 30 GB, but I want 300 GB now. Is it possible to increase? Answer is yes. That is cloud. Is it possible for your physical machine? For your laptop? Not possible, no. But remember, volume size can be increased on fly. On fly. What is the meaning of fly? Fly meaning you no need to stop the EC2 instance. On the runtime only, we can increase it. Generally, just assume you have the production environment. EC2 instance is running. And then you got a requirement that your customer said, Babu, increase the size of the C drive. For that, do you need to stop the EC2 instance? Not required. While running only, we can increase the size of the volume. So here, the question here is, volume size can be increased on fly. Do we need to stop the EC2 instance? Not required. Can we increase on fly? Answer is yes. How much maximum you can increase? 16 terabyte. So now we have 30 GB. You can increase it to 300 also. Later, you can increase it to some 400, 500, 1000, how much ever you want. Remember, volume size can be increased, but volume size cannot be decreased. Only increase, cannot decrease. You getting it? No, volume size can only be increased. It cannot be decreased. Let's say, for example, I asked you, hey, Babu, go and create 50 GB volume. So you went to the AWS console. There is a button called create volume. You clicked on create volume, and how much size you have given? 50. I have asked 50 GB to create, but when you're creating, Pusuk, you put one more zero. How much? 500, it got created. Then you came, sir, I created 500 GB, sir. You asked only 50. What should I do now? Is it possible to decrease? What do you need to do for that? Delete it and then recreate it. Delete it and then recreate it. So let's say, for example, if you have data inside it, can you move the data? Yes, you can copy paste the data to some other volume and then delete it and then copy paste again. So volume size can only be increased, cannot be decreased. Certification questions. So volume size can be increased on fly. Do we need to stop? No need to stop the EC2 instance. That meaning no downtime. Volume size can be decreased. Volume size cannot be decreased. What do you need to do for this? Delete the volume and recreate it based on this. Now, is this clear till here, everyone? Getting it? Online, is this clear? Super. Slowly, arams. Okay, so now here the concept of volumes is attach, detach. What is that? Attach, detach, attach, detach. Okay. So here, we'll talk on that, Rajesh. That will also get clear. So we have something called device names. What is that? Root volume has one device name. Additional volume has a device name. Basically, every volume will have a device name because you need to attach it, no? Whenever you're attaching, you need to give the device name. You need to give the device name. Remember, the root volume device name should be always /dev/sda1. What is that? /dev/sda1. Say that. /dev/sda1. Say that one more time. That is the root volume device name. Certification question. So if someone asks you what is the root volume device name, /dev/sda1. SDA1. Remember, whenever you are attaching the root volume, you should attach the root volume with the device name called /dev/SDA1. Then only, whenever the EC2 instance has started, EC2 instance will check, Are Babu, where is the operating system? Because remember, EC2 instance has volumes. EC2 instance has the volumes. Now, I started up. I have two volumes. See, I'm the EC2 instance. I have two volumes. This is what volume? Root volume. This is the additional volume. Root volume is attached with a device name called /dev/SDA1. Additional volume is attached as /dev/SD, not A1. SD, B, E, F, G, something. Apart from A1, it can be anything. Okay, now you started me. EC2 instance got started. Now, when I started, I need to boot from the operating system. No. So whom should I look? Root additional. How does the EC2 instance know this is the root volume? Because it is attached as a /dev/SDA1. So EC2 instance will look, Are Babu, where is /dev/SDA1? So as you have attached the root volume as /dev/SDA1, no, then automatically EC2 instance will go inside it and you find the operating system and it will get booted from it. Understand? So that is the root volume device name. That is perfect certification question. So here, it can be for Windows also, for Linux also. The root volume device name is right here. Device names. So for root, for Windows, it is, what is the name? /dev/SDA1. For additional, it is /dev/SD, SD, B, E, F, etc. It should be like this. And remember, sometimes for Ubuntu machines, the root volumes is /dev/XVDA also sometimes. Maximum 99% it is /dev/SDA1 only. But for Ubuntu machines, it will be /dev/XVDA. Say that. /dev/XVDA. But maximum 99% it should be /dev/SDA1. So root volume is always mounted or attached as /dev/SDA1. Okay. I'm asking one certification question again. Ready? Think and answer. Is it possible, Papas here, everyone. Is it possible to detach the root volume while EC2 is running? What is your answer? I'm asking the question again. Is it possible to detach the root volume while EC2 is running? Answer is no. Arebai, how we do operations without, how you take out the heart from the person? What you need to do first for the EC2 instance? Yeah, you need to stop the EC2 instance and then detach the root volume. Is it possible to detach while it is running? It will shout. So you need to stop the EC2 instance and then detach. That is the one certification. Another certification. Is it possible to detach the additional volume while EC2 is running? Answer is yes. Any problem there? No problem. Because it has only the data. No, there is no relation to the EC2 instance and the volume. So it can detach it in the backend. But is it recommended? Let's say, for example, if any developer, any person is logging inside and he's working in the D drive, he's creating some files in D drive. Pusuk, you detach from backend. He'll cry, no. Is it recommended to do that? But is it possible to do that? If that developer or customer has done some overaction, what you do? From backend, pluck it off. Yes or no? Then say, hey, be careful, D drive suck. So only AWS engineers can do, not any other people cannot do that. Right? Very good. That is the certification questions. Is it possible to detach the root volume while EC2 is running? Answer is no. What you need to do? Stop the EC2 instance first and then detach the root volume. Similarly, is it possible to detach the additional volume while EC2 is running? Answer is yes, but not recommended. Good. It is not recommended to detach while running. What you need to do for this also? Stop first. If possible, stop it. Otherwise, you can detach it. No issues. See here. You have the EC2 instance and volume is attached. While it is in attached state, can you delete it? I'm repeating the question. You have EC2 instance and volume is attached. While it is attached, while it is in attached state, can you delete it? No. Answer is no. What you need to do first? Detach it and then delete it. So first volume should be detached and then you can only delete. While it is attached, can you delete it? Because the EC2 instance is using, no. Right? So if you want to delete the volume, first what you need to do? Detach it. Very good. You cannot delete the volume while it is attached. What you need to do first? Detach first and then delete. Done? Clear? Another very important certification question I'm asking. See, Nana, Chiti, EC2 instance has availability zones? Yes or no? EC2 instance has availability zones. Volumes also has availability zones. Volumes also has availability. Now, question for you is, our EC2 instance is in 1A. Volume should be in 1A or it should be 1B? It should be in 1A. What is availability zone? What is availability zone generally? Data center, no. What is availability zone? Data center, no. Our EC2 instance is in 1A data center. Our volume should be also in 1A data center only, no? Is it good to keep it in another 1B data center? Our EC2 instance in 1A, our volume is in 1B. Is it possible to detach somewhere from there to attach to this EC2 instance in 1A? Is it good? So remember, your EC2 instance and volume should be in the same availability zone or different availability zone? Same. Remember, 1B volume can be attached to 1A EC2 instance? Yes or no? I'm repeating. 1B volume can be attached to 1A EC2 instance? Answer is no, because it is in the different availability zones. Okay. 1A volume can be attached to 1B EC2 instance? Answer is no. I have 1A EC2 instance and I have 1A volume. Can I attach it? I have 1B EC2 instance and I have 1B volume. Can I attach it? I have 1A volume and I have 1B EC2 instance. Can I attach it? Remember, understood now. So EC2 instance and volume should be in the same availabilities. That is the certification questions. EC2 instance has availability zones. Volume also has availability zones. And EC2 instance and volume should be in same availability. Yes. I'll put one diagram. You tell me that is possible or not. See here, guys. I have two EC2 instances. This EC2 instance in which availability zone? 1A. This one? This volume is in which availability zone? This one? 1A. This one is in which availability zone? Now tell me, is it possible for me to detach this here and attach it here? Detach it and attach it here? Possible? Answer is no. Why? Excellent. It is in the different availability zone. 1A volume can be attached to 1B EC2 instance? Answer is no, because it is in the different. Super, guys. So I'm writing it here. We cannot attach 1A volume to 1B EC2 instance because it is in the different availability zone. But we can attach 1A volume to 1A EC2 instance because it is in the same availability zone. Perfect. One small request for especially online people. So Nana, I don't know whether I said this or not. Whenever you are asking the questions, right, there should be some proper format. I'm not saying Amol or anyone, but I'm usually addressing everyone here. Generally, as we are online, we cannot see the face expressions. Yes or no? Offline people, I can see if they're asking the questions, how he's asking, I can easily identify and answer it. Online people, it's very hard. Let's say, for example, you have WhatsApp, no? And other people, other side, is sending the messages in capital letters. What does that mean? What does the capital letter meaning? Angry. What's that? Yes or no? If you want to shout and rude, you put it in capital letters. Yes or no? And you are getting a messages without any proper hi, hello, no proper salutation. Directly you are sending the messages. What does it meaning? Carelessness. Correct or no? You also know this in your real time, in your personal life also, but we don't generally observe it. See, just but here also remember, online people especially, my humble request is, whenever you are sending a message to me, especially while I will question answer, while you are asking any question, please put sir, comma, put the question properly in one line and then question mark, so that I can easily understand. Okay, I can easily understand that you're asking me. But some people they'll just put the message. I don't know whether they're asking me or some other persons. For that reason, so remember from now onwards, please put sir, comma, and then put the question in one line. I mean, in one message and put it. Sometimes people will say put like this, sir, and then no message. And then 2, 3 messages will go up and then they'll ask one question, half of the question and length after. Is it possible for me to understand this? No. So please follow this right from now onwards, everyone. Okay. So is it clear, Nana? Chitty online? Make sense? Experienced people know these problems. Yeah. Okay. So fine. Is it clear till here, everyone? So now I'm giving you one example here. All these are all EC2 instances. How many EC2 instances? Why only 4? No space. Did you see here? I have this EC2 instances and I have only one. How many volumes are there? Only one volume. Now question for you here is it possible for me to attach this one single volume to multiple EC2 instances at the same time? What is the answer? Answer is no. We learned that. But my problem here is I want something share storage. What is it, Nana? That meaning if I need a storage such that if I put any data in that storage, it should be visible for all EC2 instances. Is that possible till now? Whatever we have discussed, is that possible? Not possible. But what I need something called share storage. I need to have one storage where if I attach that storage to EC2 instances, it should be available for all the data should be available for all the EC2 instances. Basically, one storage can be attached to multiple EC2 instances. What is the storage? How it is possible? We'll see in the next class. Okay. So I don't think so. It is a heavy dose today, but still, it's easy or not? This difficult topic, I think I made it easy. So here you cannot share the volumes among EC2 instances. What if I need a shared storage? What is that? We'll see in our next class. If those in same availability, is it possible, sir? Yes. Oh, see, guys, one volume can be attached to multiple EC2 instances if those EC2 instances are in same availability zone. No, one volume, one EC2 instance only. And by the way, and volume cannot be attached to another availability zone EC2 instance. That is for 100% sure. If we have multiple EC2 instances and one volume, can you attach to multiple EC2 instances? Answer is no, not possible. Not at all possible. Sir, okay, what is it? Yes, you can. Any questions meanwhile? Otherwise, take the screenshots, please. So quickly, guys, what is the full form of S3 here? Simple storage service. S3 is limited storage or unlimited storage? Unlimited storage. In S3, can you store any kind of files? Yes. Is it possible to execute, run, install? Nothing. So S3 is server based or serverless? So what do we create in S3? What do we create in S3? Buckets. What does the bucket contain? What's the name of the object called? Key. S3 is what based storage? Object based storage. Does S3 support static website hosting? Yes. Do we need to worry about the performance of S3 and all? No. What is hard disk called? What volume? EBS volume. What volume? EBS volume. Basically, we have two types of volume. What are those? Root volume and then additional volume. What does the root volume contain? Operating system. So when I launch how many steps are there to launch EC2 instance? 7 steps. While launching the EC2 instance, which the volume will come by default. What volume is that? Root volume. What does the root volume contains? Operating system. What does the additional volume contains? Data. One EC2 instance can have multiple volumes attached? Yes. How many root volumes you can attach? Only one. Can we attach multiple additional volumes? What is the maximum volume size? 16 terabyte. So volume size can be pre-provision. Volume size can be increased. Volume size can be increased on fly. Yes. Do we need to stop? No. Volume size can be decreased. Not possible. What do we need to do? Delete and recreate it. And EC2 and is it possible to detach the root volume while EC2 is running? No. What do you need to do? Stop. Is it possible to detach the additional volume while EC2 is running? Answer is yes. Recommended? No. EC2 instance has availability zone. EC2 instance has availability zone. Volume has availability zones. They both should be in the same availability zone, different availability zone. 1A volume can be attached to 1B EC2 instance. 1B volume can be attached to 1A EC2 instance. 1A volume can be attached to 1A EC2 instance. Answer is yes. One volume can be attached to multiple EC2 instances at the same time. Not possible. What is the root volume device name? /dev / SDA1. What is the default size that you get for Windows? For Linux? What is the full form of SCS? What is the full form of SNS? Who is your class teacher? Oh, very good. Okay, I was kidding. Very good. So you feel that today topic is heavy, but you are able to answer all the questions. Correct? Understood? Super. Take the screenshot. I'll ask one question here. One question, whether you see whether you can answer it or not. Chitty, I have created, let's say you have created 100 GB of volume. How much? 100 GB. But you have used 30 GB inside it. AWS will charge for 100 GB or 30 GB? 100 or 30? Let me see online. Again, some people say 30, some people say 100. What is your answer? Okay, should I compare to your personal life? Huh? In personal life, always you will say right answer. I don't know why. Okay, so you went to restaurant. You went to the restaurant and you ordered a biryani. How much is one biryani? 200 rupees. You ordered biryani and you ate only half of biryani. Will you say that I will pay only 100 rupees? Huh? How can you say correct answers in personal thing? But here we're saying wrong answer. See, you ordered 100 GB here. You pay for 100 GB. Whether you use it or you don't use it, it's up to you. So you ordered biryani, you eat or don't eat, you pay the bill. So here also, same thing. 100 GB, you need to, that's why I said, volumes are pre-provision. How much you want, you create it. No. Anytime you can increase the volumes. Anytime you have provision to increase the volume, no, there is no problem. So don't think that later I can increase that or not. That's why I want entire to 10 terabytes now itself. And you're using only 10 GB inside it. Not good. How much ever you want, you create that much and you can increase anytime. Good enough. So online, can you give the final CC for today, please? CC with smart. Sir, how frequently we will increase in a day or a week? It purely depends. It's not possible to say, right? So if your customers are regularly using it, putting the lot of data, you might be increasing. There is no way else. It is not good to increase every day. You check based on the requirement, you increase only one time. No, let's say every day he's increasing 10 GB. Will you increase 10 GB, 10 GB, 10 GB? That much confused you are? What do you do? Increase it for 100 GB, no? And he will not ask you for 10 days like this. Good. So that is all, guys, for today. And I'll see you tomorrow with the next beautiful topic. Until then, take care. Bye-bye. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow. Good night. Oh, hello, online. We have class tomorrow. Okay. So many people left. Yeah. But yeah, we have class tomorrow.